But a top focus, and we are expecting your calls also live on this big issue. The government's move to ban 857 porn websites has now sparked a massive political and social outrage. These websites were blocked allegedly on the directive of the government. Search for porn websites showed a blank page to users with internet service providers such as Vodafone, MTNL as well as Hathway. There are reports that the sites are inaccessible due to an unofficial ban by the government. A user also posted a picture on social media showing that access to a website was blocked as per the directions of the Department of Telecommunications. Meanwhile, social media is also abuzz with outrage over the supposed ban. Former junior minister in the IT department, the IT portfolio, has spoken out against the blocking of porn websites. Milind Dera has termed the step as a move towards Talibanization of the country.
Joining us now is former Information Technology Minister, former Congress MP Milind Dera, who's tweeted his protest against this ban. Appreciate your joining us, Mr. Dera. You've made some very strong words on Twitter. You've said the latest ban is not about liking or disliking porn. It's about government hijacking personal liberties. What will they ban next? Phones and televisions. Are you taking a very extreme step, or do you believe the government is in the wrong?
No, I think, firstly, I think that this recent ban, like every other ban that's taken place in the last year, both at state government of Maharashtra level and other state governments and in the center, are really diversionary tactics used by the BJP and the government to deflect attention from real issues. And today, for instance, the real issues before the country are the state of the economy, state of our national security when you have terror attacks very recently in Gurdaspur and Punjab. And most importantly, the fact that Mr. Modi promised the people of India when they voted for him that he would provide clean governance. And he said, na khaunga, na khane dunga.
No, you're saying it's a diversionary tactic.
Changed completely. And that's why if you talk to people across the country.
Yes. No, hold on. You're talking about a diversionary tactic, but what I see from Twitter is that you are protesting against the ban on porn per se. Do you believe that this ban is unworkable, unviable, or do you believe in principle you cannot ban porn sites?
No, what I'm saying, Rajdeep, is any ban, whether it's telling the censor board, telling filmmakers what words they can and can't use in movies, or whether it's banning porn. Of course, child pornography has to go, and those who are uploading it or those who are producing it should be booked with the most stringent sections of the law. But any of these bans, whether it's the ban, as I said, imposed by the censor board, or whether it's the ban on pornography, which happened this weekend, I think a knee-jerk process of banning any of these things is what's extremely dangerous in a democracy like ours. I'm not in favor of the government or a bureaucrat or a minister sitting in New Delhi deciding what is right for the people of India in terms of what they can eat, what they can watch on television, what they can watch in the privacy of their homes.
Well, the government appears to have invoked Section 79B of the Information Technology Act of 2000. Let's bring you more details. Meanwhile, the Supreme Court had in early July also said that a ban on porn would be violation of Article 21, which upholds personal liberty. The Chief Justice of India had said that there was nothing wrong with an adult watching pornographic movies and videos within the four walls of his home. All right, we have editor Shiv Arur also joining me from the newsroom. Shiv, the big question is, why do this on the quiet, really? Why can't there be an official announcement? Why can't there be a policy that the government actually goes ahead and invokes? Or why can't they go through the legal course, really, to go ahead with this ban?
You know, as always is the case, Vedika, in such issues, it happened in 2012 with the Twitter block. It's happened subsequently as well. The government has done this in a silent fashion, extremely clumsily, leaving it to the internet to actually discover these documents. Here on India Today, we've got the official notification dated the 31st of July, just a few days ago. This is the notification from the government banning 857 porn porn websites in the country. This is a notification which is restricted. It is from the Ministry of Communication and Information Technology in Sanchar Bhavan, and it goes out to internet service providers. This document actually says, accordingly, all the internet service licensees are requested to take necessary action as per the direction of the agency. The compliance be submitted immediately. Kindly do not reproduce the compliance letter. The contents of the letter may kindly be kept confidential. Each and every page of this document which I have here, which we're putting out here on India Today, contains a list of all of the 857 porn websites that have been blocked by the government. This is perhaps the most exhaustive list, and there are good reasons why presumably why the government has been so silent about this. It has led to the perception that this was a sort of silent strike. Maybe the government was hoping that this entire block could be done silently without anyone actually sort of wisening up to what's really going on. But the nature of the internet, it appears the government hasn't learned its lesson about the basic nature of the internet. You cannot, ban something without it exploding in your face. You cannot crack down on information, on data, on private and personal liberties of people without something like this absolutely exploding in your face. So this is a real fight. It's a polarizing debate. And this document, which the government had actually tried to suppress and not put out, and was hoping that nobody would actually find, has been found by the Center for Internet and Society in Bengaluru. One of their chiefs, Pranesh Prakash, has actually tweeted a link containing this document with this entire list, which we've put out first here on India Today on television right now. And it's going to embarrass the government. There's no doubt that this is going to embarrass the government, because at the end of the day, this is a decency debate. The platform through which the government is actually banning these websites is quote-unquote decency, Vedika. So this impinges on personal and private liberties as well. It's definitely a Pandora's box that the government has opened.
And Shiv, when we do look at social networking sites, the one big question which repeatedly is emerging through people is that this is an extra constitutional threat to personal liberty.
Absolutely. All of those questions are going to arise at this point of time. Extra constitutional authority, the fact that this was done in a dark and devious manner, with nobody really being informed about it. Internet service providers getting, these sort of no nonsense, no negotiation, no argument, strictures from the Department of Telecommunications, which unsuccessfully tried to block Twitter accounts, including mine, I should say, right here on TV back in 2012. So it's very sinister. It's a very devious, almost draconian way the government is going about things. Your first question is absolutely right, Vedika. Why not be more open about this? Why not publish a policy as far as internet pornography is concerned, like certain other countries have done? Is this really about banning pornography, or is this, as we're saying here on India Today, is this a kind of silent Sanskriti strike, since, the word decency has crept into this entire debate? Well, this document makes it clear that the government has tried to do this in a secretive way, has tried to, do this, in as unobtrusive a fashion, hoping against hope that nobody really finds out. But the fact that I'm holding this document in my hand right now is just proof of the nature of the internet, and the government, surprisingly, a government that, everyone imagined understood social media and the strengths of the internet so well, appears to have let it blow up in its face again.
And also, Shiv, the perception really that seems to be going out after this unofficial ban has been put in place is that if you watch porn, the government in a way is equating you with a sexual offender.
Could you just repeat that question, Vedika?
Shiv, the perception now that is going out after this unofficial ban seems to be that if you watch porn, you're equated to a sexual offender.
I think that's the implication, really. I mean, the simple fact of the matter is the exhaustive nature of this list, that I'm holding in my hands right now. It runs into 17 pages, means that an absolutely incredible amount of time, energy, research and effort has gone on at the Department of Telecommunication to actually come up with a list like this. I mean, people out there on social media are having a lot of fun over the fact that the government has spent energy, time and money compiling a list of porn websites,
Yes.
you know, which might actually serve now as a helpful list for people out there. Because remember, the nature of the internet is you can't block a website. There are technological ways through which you can actually get past the manner in which governments and ISPs actually block websites. There is proxy technology. There are apps that allow you to access websites that have been blocked by governments. This sort of thing happens all over the world. So in a sense, this is a bit of a joke. This is a bit of a farcical sort of move by the government, because at the end of the day, all of this boils down to the debate over whether this is necessary Sanskriti or an invasion of people's liberties. And I think it's a very important debate to have, and the government has very helpfully plodded into another sort of public relations disaster with this one.
And well, the big question really going out is it right to go ahead and silence the contrarian view through this unofficial ban instead of application of law? Shivarur, thank you so much for joining us on that top focus of ours.